Hey there, this is Katherine Cartwright. Welcome. I am sharing a new set from Diamond Press. This is called the Say It All Sentiments, and I am absolutely in love with it. Okay, so in this beginning, I'm going to show you what's in here, and then I'm really going to get into more of what you get. Okay, and I'm going to actually use the dies and the stencils and such. So this is a fun sentiment set that has all of these words that you can stencil, and then you can pair them with these gorgeous stamps. So we have like Father's Day, Mother's Day, and then some sentiments to go with them as well. And then there are these stencils that layer to create these words. And I'm going to show you that in just a second. This is what I made initially when I opened the package. You can see how those go together. And then, but I wanted to show you how it actually works. Okay, and so I'm just showing you how you can lay those out. And then you get these word dies, and then this is going to go on top of here, and I'm going to show you more in just a second, but I just wanted to show you what you get in there. It's so cute. So I'm just checking this out. This first little segment is when I just opened it before I had even worked with it at all. And you can see you get 3 stencils per word, and they are really fun. The font is very modern, I think, in a good way. And then the sentiments, the little sayings that go with it, the little strips of words, are in this beautiful kind of brush font. Okay, so starting again a little bit, I got a lot of questions. I made a reel recently using this mat, and I got a lot of questions, and I thought, well, this would be a great opportunity to address them for anybody who had any questions. So this is a glass mat, and I am putting my Diamond Press grip mat. Now usually I take this back off for storage, but I keep the 2 acetate sheets, I guess they are, and you can see I've got this huge mat. I love the size of this mat, and I'm pretty sure it's still available over at Diamond Press, and at a great price. Like, I think it's been marked down a little bit, and I love it. But again, I'm just showing you the contents of this kit because it's been a while since I have worked with it. With Craft Day coming up tomorrow, I wanted to spend a second with this. I had an extra minute, and I was like, I gotta make some more sentiments. So anyway, so I put this mat onto a glass mat because that's what's recommended. If you want to store it on there, you can. I usually take mine off, but that is what I was using for the video that I put up recently. I got a bunch of questions about it, and I just didn't have a chance to do a separate video, so I thought I would talk about it. But there's the big one that you're seeing here, and then I'm just showing you the sentiments as well. And then there's a smaller one that will fit in your Misty stamp positioner, like the original one, not the huge one, not a 12 by 12, and not the little one, but the kind of original size. Okay, so enough about that. But I love the grip mat because you'll see why in a second, why I really, really love it, and especially this size. Okay, so I'm just getting the dies back out. There's 6 of them. And then there's also a set of stencils that go with each one. Okay, and then I'm trying to get myself together. I have I have my regular mat underneath this glass mat, and this glass mat is quite large. For my space, it's a little too large, so that's why I really don't use it that much except for this kind of application. But I'm just showing you the sentiments. Congrats, thankful, sending, happy, miss you. And I have cut some of these. Sorry is the last one. And then I have cut some of these out. I find that cutting this out and then stenciling is a little bit easier. I'm not really sure what the directions say, but that's just, you'll see how quick and easy it is if you die cut it, and then if you have a mat or some way. You don't have to have a mat like this. You could just tape your stencil down onto, put a little piece of like Post-it tape or something behind there, and then lay the stencils on top. But this grip mat, again, is really pretty awesome. I've fallen in love with it. And then there was a stamp set a few months ago that had a bunch of large flower bouquets, and I cut a bunch of them, laid them on the mat, and went around and stenciled all of them. It was so easy. So easy. So anyway, again, I've really come to enjoy it. All right, so I'm just showing you again the 3 sentiments, the 3 stencils that make the sentiment, I should say. I'm all excited about Craft Day, if you can't tell. because it's right around the corner. It seems like forever before it gets here. So I'm really excited for all the new products coming from Diamond Press. Okay, so here's the last one. Sorry. And then I think I cut these. It's probably a white cardstock, but it could have been Bristol Smooth. That's what I usually use to ink blend, which I'm going to be doing with my Distress inks. Okay, so I'm just kind of getting everything together, pulling them out. And so this stencil, you'll see how quick and easy these are once you get them lined up. So I've got it cut here, and then you can see I just press that onto my mat. And then the hardest part really is picking the colors. Now I did do a lot of colors that complement each other, that go together, or in the same kind of groups. You can do, like a red, blue, and red, blue, and yellow, but you're going to have some mixing of the color, okay? And you'll see that in one of the little sentiments that I'm going to do. It kind of blends together, but it was already a brown, so I thought it worked okay anyway, but you'll see. But I'm kind of keeping them in the same color group, just different shades of it. And so I've started with purples on this sari, and you can see how great that grip mat is holding it. I'm not even, once I get it pressed into place, and it takes just a second to kind of line it up, and when you see it, you see it. And it has this nice little kind of white border that goes around here. You could use a stencil paste for sure on these. The quality of the stencils is so high, but I just didn't do it on this one because I wanted to be able to show you all of the finished ones without having to wait for the paste. But I'm definitely going to try that in my next go around when I spend some more time with this set. All right, so now I'm going to move on to sending, and then you'll see me while I'm doing the stenciling. Eventually kind of the tack will wear off, although it didn't really in this video, but you can just kind of move it around and find a new spot. And then there are instructions on how to care for the grip mat, so I don't want to tell you wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's like rinsing in warm water. But read the directions because I'm not totally sure. I think I just usually kind of rinse it off with warm water. Sometimes you'll get some lint. Lint will get on it over time, and just from the paper and the fibers of the paper. And so you will have to occasionally kind of wash it. And then I just dry it off with a microfiber towel. I keep a pack of microfiber towels in my craft room for various other things. They're white with a green stripe. You've seen them before, and they are great. But that will just help you from getting lint all over the mat and taking the tack away. Okay, so now I know I'm just chatting. So now we're going to move on. This is sending. I'm using some reds here on this one, and I'll list these in the description because I know it's going kind of fast. I didn't want this video to be too long, but it really can't be too short because I wanted you to see how this really works. I did this with the other die set that's coming out, the Fiesta Doily, which is so much fun. So if you haven't seen that video, be sure and go back in my feed or whatever they call it on YouTube, in my history list, whatever you call it. And it is another great die set that you might enjoy. And I showed you how all of it die cuts and some ideas with that. So there's just a lot of fun stuff coming out. All right, so on this Miss You, it is two words. It cuts 2 words. And I just kind of laid them down, and I was trying to get it together, like get it just right, but I couldn't get it where I wanted. So I decided what would be a better idea is to put it back into the die that I have just die cut with a little piece of paper, and that gives me perfect placement. So I'm going to pick this up, and I'm going to kind of lay it back in there. I'm going to take it over here and put the dies in there, and then I just put a little piece of tape. Took it back to my mat and gently pressed it into position, and it's perfectly lined up. So when you're die cutting this one, maybe put a piece of tape in it before you bring it over to your mat or however you're going to tie it down, lay it down, I guess, and then you got perfect placement, okay? And then all you have to do is just get the stencil in the right spot, and you are good to go. All right, so I'm just picking some colors here. I'm going to use some green. I'm sure this is Twisted Citron. It's my favorite green. And some of these ink pads are in desperate need of ink. So I'm going back and forth a couple of times, and this is a new little foam thing, and I really like them when they're nice and juicy, when they've been well used. When they're brand new, they're a little harder to get the color because you got to kind of get that color up in there. So that one needs a little more ink in it, and the ink pad needs some ink for sure. All right, and so I've got the first group going, and now I'm going to pick the next one, which color I'm going to do, and I'm going to go with Mowed Lawn, my second favorite green. So Twisted Citron's my favorite, and then Mowed Lawn is number 2. Mowed Lawn, well, maybe Mowed Lawn really should be number 1 because it's just the classic for leaves and any kind of greenery you have, but Twisted Citron is just so bright and fun and fresh. All right, and here is the last one, and I'm going to go with pine needles on this one. A nice deep green. I'm going to say that's my third favorite green. It's funny when you have these colors, what you reach for over and over and over again, but look at that, how cute. And the mishu just went together so quickly. And then Thankful, I'm going to go with a little bit of a fallish vibe. I just was thinking I wanted to show some different color groupings for you, and I'm going to pick some browns and an orange on this one. This would be fun for fall. There's a Diamond Press set out there. It's been a while since it's been released that has a pie in it. It has some pies for Thanksgiving and stuff, and I think this would be cute to use this with that. All right, so I'm putting my brown in here. I'll list this in the description because I'm not sure what color. I tried to keep the tops over there, and then I just keep flipping them over really quickly so you can't see. All right, so it's Gathered Twigs. I should have known that because that's one of my favorites. All right, and then I'm going to move on to Carved Pumpkin, one of my favorite oranges. Obviously, I'm showing you all of my favorites of my distress inks. Let me know in the comments if you have a favorite color. I would love to know. I use these all the time. They are well loved. All right, so now, and I love it too, the way the stencil is done, because I can't really mess it up. I mean, I'm not going to get over into the other letter because it's completely blocked off. So I really appreciate the design of these stencils and how thoughtful they are. And then lastly, I'm going to use Rusty Hinge, which has a little bit of it's an orangey brown tone to it as well. So that will be my final color for Thankful. So you can see how fun this is and how the possibilities are limitless, really. It's just, if you have different color inks, and if you don't have a lot of inks too, I will say, like maybe let's just say you have a few inks, just go a little bit lighter with your first one. So for example, on this H and the P, don't go crazy, heavy-handed. I love to put a lot of ink on. Just start lightly, and then on the next application, so the next letter that you move to, like you could have stopped right there. It was very nice and light, and then when you go to the next color, the next letter, you can go with more pressure, and that will allow you to stretch your inks, especially if you have like a distress ink, because it is very forgiving. But you could start just a little bit lighter in your application. Don't push so hard. And then you can go to a dark, you can use the same color and darken it with a little more pressure on it. So that's just a quick little tip on if you don't have a lot of inks at this time to use, you can always stretch them by just putting a little more pressure on there. All right, and then lastly, I've got this little P, and I only have, I guess, a couple of distress pinks, so I'm going to go with Festive Berries, and I'm not going to go super dark, so I'm just going to put a lighter application on there like I was talking about. Okay, and then I think we're getting to the last one, so thanks for watching. I just thought you would enjoy seeing all of them actually being used instead of just seeing samples. I get complaints sometimes about that, and I get it, because when I want to watch it, I want to see some stuff made too. So I'm trying to do that when I can, and I had the opportunity. So I'm definitely going to make this blue, love the blues collection from Distress. They're so gorgeous. And then this is this Peacock Feathers, and then I'm going to go something brighter. And with graduations coming out soon, coming around the corner, this would be great for a graduation card, and you could totally customize it however you wanted to for the graduate that you're celebrating. And this one is Blueprint Sketch. I love the color combination of those two. Blueprints become very quickly one of my favorite blues. That just rich, rich, rich blue. Love it. All right, and here is the last one. And so you could cut a bunch of these and then just do a bunch of them and put them away. And when you need another sentiment or something, which I often find myself needing, then you can just pull them out by the groupings and use them that way. And this one is Mermaid Lagoon to round out my blues on this Congrats. Look at that. And isn't that mat awesome? I'm loving it. If you've got the grip mat, let me know what your feedback is. I'd love to hear if you've used it, if you've got one. I know there are other companies that make them, but I really love the size of this one. Okay, so here is the finished sentiments, all of them. After they've been made happy, congrats, sending, sorry, thankful, and miss you. Okay, and don't forget you get 2 stamp sets with it too. So just a ton, and I'm going to show you some samples at the end. These are the ones I did make for Diamond Press. It'll be featured on HSN tomorrow. So leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about this. If you have any interest in it, if you're going to pick it up, I'd love to know what you think. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy Craft Day tomorrow. Thanks for supporting my channel on my affiliate links, the little purchases that I get, the commission I put back into my channel, and I just appreciate you so much supporting me. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great craft day.